File, new, PHP, create, insert, form, and form. Is that right? We need, what is that I don't need? Property name, keep it here open so I know. I think it's gonna keep going away. So property name, property type, price, status, number of rooms, category, house or flat. But then when I said house or flat, even category was house and flat. But in a house or flat, I wanted to mention very clearly whether it is a ground floor or a first floor flat, right? And image name. So we've got 8 fields here, right? So property name is already done. Property type, category, uh, status. I don't want to take status. Um, Number of rooms. So I've got property name, property type, category, house or floor, number of rooms. I can take price, right? I'm not taking status because by default every property should be available, isn't it? Until unless the admin wants to change it. Or you can say that by default every property is no, and until unless admin makes it available. So whatever you want to make a decision, you can make that decision on. So for property name, we need an insert form, and you can do a sprite text field. Is that right? If you want to put a, but then sprite text will just waste my time, so I'm just going to quickly take a text field. So here it's property name, property type. What should be property type? If it's a list menu, then I will say that I'll make more interactive your forms are, better it is, right? So if it's a property type, then what I'm taking is a drop down and saying list values, and it's semi, whatever that is, detached. You were saying something, isn't it? It's number of them. I'll show you what I have written. So terrorist. I'm not going to do more. I'm just going to give you few, right? But then detached. Bungalow, mansionette, whatever you want to write. Backyard. There's no backyard, but anyways, there's a mention. There could be mansionette, bungalow, or end of terrace, whatever you want to just add. Just keep adding whatever you want to add as a. I've done this categories. Category for me is again a list or a menu, which is house. Flat. I mean, people can have choices. What do they have in their table, right? And then house or a flow is, it's a, just wanted to know the, so I'm just going to make a text field for the time being. House, flow. Number of rooms. You can have a drop down up to 6 maybe, or 7, I don't know. But then obviously you would have a range. If you are a property agent, you know how big houses do you get. So your drop down should be probably 5 or 6. I don't think so we have 7 bedroom for every property dealer, isn't it? It just depends on what that estate agent deals with. So it's, I can have a list or a menu, but whatever you want to have. So rooms, and then there's list values 1 plus 2 2 3 3 4 1 yeah, but then you can have description, you can have more fields. So we've done property name, we've done property type, we've done price, we've not done price. We've written price, but we've not done a text field there. We've not done status because I don't want to do it. Number of rooms, category, and H&F, right? We've done that. So we've done every field. It's just price, insert, form and text field, and you're going to call it price. Yep. We're going to need one for image name. So if I say here, image, insert, and a form, and a file field. And what do I want to call it? It's up to me, image name. So I've called my file field image name. Is that right? Yeah. Now, if I can click on OK, now I want to have a status here, but I don't want it to be visible because I want every property to go as no. Does that make sense? Or Y, whatever you want. If you don't want it visible, you can do form and hidden field. And I can change the name, which is status, right? And in a value, I can put yes or no, whatever I want. Yeah, that means it is still part, it's still in your form, but a person doesn't know what status I'm allocating, or when he registers or when he adds a property, what status it is allocated. You know because you designed this form, right? So the status field is not empty, it is either N or Y depending on whatever you wanted. Yeah, that's going to be like your default value, right? So I've got this, and then I going to have my submit button. So insert, form, and button. It's okay. You can put a date rich string if you want to do that. If you do that, again you need a hidden field, or you can even have a text field. It's up to you. If you want to show the date, because it's going to be automatic, right? So if you want to have that, then form, should I put a hidden field or do you want me to put a text field? It doesn't matter. You can put any one of them. So if I put a text field, let's say register date, that's your, right? You can make it read only so that he or she cannot change it because that's fixed. In the value, you will have to write down a PHP code, right? And what that PHP code is going to be question mark PHP. Oh, you can't say. Well, I'm gonna just write down here so that you can see. I'll copy it there. PHP echo date question mark this, and within this you will have to use Y, capital Y, M, T. Date is a default function in PHP which gives you system date, and capital Y means 4-year format, month is month, and T is day. So I need to put this code in your box, and yeah. So once you've done this, that means my page also needs to have or date in case you want to have it. So date and save it, just so that my insert works properly. So just added that. Now what's the next step? What should I do? I've have my page. I'll save my page. Add property. But now I need to do server behavior plus and do. What should I do? Insert record, right? Because you're inserting a record. So which table are you inserting a record? I have this in employees. I don't remember. Yeah. Employees properties. Now, almost all your fields would be automatically associated if the names are same. The ones which don't, you just go and select them and choose your image name gets a value from image name, our date gets a value from register date. Yeah. And after entering, where do you want it to go? You can go wherever, right? I mean, you can just choose where do you want to go after. If I don't give it, then it'll just come back to the same page again. So, okay. Yeah. Sorry. For here, I cannot use a dynamic list until unless I have a separate table or I have a list of categories. Does that make sense? No, he's talking about, the way we've done a drop downs now. So those drop downs can be made here as well. You can have a records and have a drop downs, but you can only have that if you had a separate table for things. But because from my same table, I don't have a list of house type, isn't it? Some of the records will not be there, so there would be no type called as semi-detached. So are you saying that nobody can add semi-detached because there's no semi-detached already? That's wrong, isn't it? So you will, until unless you have a table somewhere saying house categories or house types. If you had that, then you can create this drop downs from that table, right? Otherwise not. Yeah. So that's your scenario. I've done an insert record, so it should work. So F12, property name, house in Hackney. It is terraced. It's a flat. It's a first floor flat. Number of rooms are 2. Price is 200. No, that's too less. 450. Browse. Whatever picture comes up, I don't care. And this. Right, that's the date. And if I say submit, it says image name cannot be null. Because it is a file field, it doesn't pick up. Right? Now why doesn't it pick up? Because if we look at the code, here there's an insert statement, is that right? Insert into properties. Yeah? You probably recognize insert statement, right? It uses here post, 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 is that right? And it uses post for image name as well. But image name is not post, is that right? Why is image name not post? No, why is it not post? Why is image name not a post? Because it is underscore files, isn't it? Because it's a file field, it doesn't go as underscore post, right? We said in the morning that it is not. So here it should be files and not post. So it should be, it is image name, but it is not post. It's files, right? Because it's a file field. Right? So we'll have to, wherever your image name is, whatever that box name is, instead of saying dollar underscore post, it should be dollar underscore files with that same image name. Right? But what do I need to write down in front of this? Because image name has got so many properties. It has got size, it has got type, it has got so many other things. So what is that you want to put in database? What is that you want to put in a database? The name, right? So the name. So in here, you'll have to put another square bracket and say name. Because there's so many properties of a file, which can be type, size, um, name, temporary name, creation date, access date. So you'll have to change that basically to suit it. Does that make? Yeah. I'm not sure if the syntax is. Yeah. Yeah. So if we say save now and look for this, go back, refresh it. Housing. Okay, again. Yeah, because it, not because I wrote just name, I wrote $_files because the box is not a normal box, it's a file field. And file fields go as files, they don't go as posts. This is from where I started the lesson today, that there is get, there is post, there is session, there is files, and you need to be able to know the difference where get is used, where is form is used, where files is used. So whenever we use a file field, it is goes as a separate collection called as files, right? Now if you want to check this, you can go here and you can check browse, and you can see whether your file name has come up there or not. So your record's gone and your flower.jpg is right. But now, so that's the change which you need to do in your insert, is that right? But then we had a code separately for file upload, is that right? Now file is not gone anywhere. It's not been saved on your server because I never wrote that code here. Is that right? So what's the code which was for file upload? Move. Well, people who were not there, so we can just show you where the code is. So if we go to, and we need to pick up the code, so w3schools.com. So if you ever forget where that code is, you go to w3schools, learn PHP, and then you go to file upload. Go to the last option, example here, which is available, which is here. And the line which you need is this. Just one line from here, which is move upload file. Yeah. So Control C. Go back in Dreamweaver. I can put that line as a top, or I can put it afterwards. It's up to you whether you want to do it after insert. I would rather do it before, but anyways, you could do it just before the last line. Just put that code here. What do I need to change here? Move uploaded file, $_files. What should I write here? My variable name is image name. We'll leave this temp name like temp name. If you want to change the folder where it is, because this folder should exist, right? And files will again be image name. Yeah. If you want to keep this upload, then I can, let's say I want to call property images. I want to call the folder as property images. So that's the code which you need to write down at the end of your code. And all I'll have to do here is my files should have that folder. Is that right? So let me just create that folder, which is new folder. Yeah. Now when I run an upload, it should actually save that file in this folder as well with the same name. Is that right? Yeah. So what should I do? I can go here and run this page. Yep. Yep. So if I go here, maybe the record should exist. So there is a record. Is that right? Flower2. Now I need to check here whether I have that file in my property images. Is that right? So you've uploaded, you've put that information in a database as well, right? So you just need to have a normal insert page, but you will have to change the code slightly, and you will have to add move upload file function there. That's so the 2 steps in a normal insert form. Is that okay? So the 2 steps to remember that I need to change how the file field is going to be called, and you need to add a function which actually makes an upload possible. Is that okay? Yeah. So I'm going to stop and obviously save this